Hilldiggity dog. Yes, I got your video, and I wanted to acknowledge a couple of things. Number one, if a person is inactive in this religion, they are inactive publishers. In other words, they're still Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't have the wonderful status of no longer being Jehovah's Witnesses. So, does a person really leave an organization that they are still technically members of? Ah, good question. Does the Catholic Church shun their members for watching a rated R movie? Does the Catholic Church shun their members for marrying somebody of another religion after they're baptized Catholics? Um, does the Catholic Church teach about oral sex, anal sex, mutual masturbation when there are 3-year-olds in attendance during their meetings? These are questions you have to ask yourself. Now, if you were to say, I don't agree with this teaching about oral sex, anal sex, and mutual masturbation with 3-year-olds in the audience, the Watchtower Society will sit you down and they will talk with you and they will try to correct your thinking. And if you continue saying you don't agree with these teachings, the next time the Watchtower Society comes out with one of these study edition watchtowers, you will then be reproved. And if you continue saying you don't agree with this, you will eventually be disfellowshipped. So you have a choice, Hilldiggity. You either shut up and go along with it, or you speak out and face disfellowshipping, or you quietly drift into inactivity, but yet you're still one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and they're going to come banging on your door every 6 months to see if you changed in your feelings or if you have decided to come back and you're weak, and you'll find yourself hiding behind curtains trying to dodge these people. Now, what's better, to hide behind your curtain dodging elders, or to basically tell them, stay out of my property, stay away, don't come around me anymore? As a matter of fact, I'm going to come knock on your door so you can hide behind your curtains now for a while. Why? Because I'm a full-blown apostate. What's better there, Hilldiggity? Something to think about. Now, something else to think about, too, is that when you try to leave this religion any other way other than just drifting into inactivity, there's only two ways out after that: disfellowshipping and being shunned, or death. Now, I have knowledge very well of what went on in my Kingdom Hall. One young person was having doubts about the religion. He was having trouble. He was viewed as weak. When he turned 18, his parents threw him out because he was disfellowshipped for apostate thinking. He was speaking apostasy, raising questions with the elders at 18. When he found himself thrown out, he desperately needed a place to stay. Now, I don't know if you know anything about out by Watchtower Farms, but there's a lot of farms. And he really had no contact with worldly people. So what were his choices? He went to a sister's house, asked her if he could stay in one of her rooms because she would rent out rooms to brothers, and the sister told him she would not have a disfellowship person living under her roof and her property. And so this young person went and committed suicide. Another sister was home one day, and a ministerial servant came by when her father was at work, and they were friends. The ministerial servant was friends with her father, who was an elder. The ministerial servant proceeded to rape this 12-year-old girl. The 12-year-old girl never told anybody. She held on to this and would not, she was afraid to speak out until the day she slit her wrists. When she was in the hospital, they wanted to know why she slit her wrists. She said because she was raped by this brother, and she didn't think anybody was going to believe her because she's been told over and over that the sisters will entice the brothers. And when the ministerial servant denies such a claim, they always believe the ministerial servant. Why? Because he's appointed by God into the position of being a ministerial servant. The sister is a nobody. Does this sound like something average religions do? Do the Catholics basically not take the word of their members? They may. But when people are committing suicide, people are slashing their wrists. And then another case of a 12-year-old boy who was a personal friend of mine in the congregation was declared to be a bad association. Why? Because he was playing with worldly children in the neighborhood. Now, if you knew this boy's background, they were circulating through the scuttlebutt, the gossip, and the grapevine that the children in the Kingdom Hall should not associate with this boy because he wasn't baptized at 12 years old. So the boy chose association outside of the Watchtower Society. So when I wanted to take him out in service, which I did for years, I took since he was 9 years old. The kid was going in service with my car group. We'd take him out to the restaurants, take him out to the field, play ball with him, taught the kid how to kick a football, how to throw a football, how to throw a baseball, how to catch a baseball, how to throw a frisbee, every other thing. And all of a sudden, I was being told this boy cannot be out in service because he's a bad association. They labeled him a bad association at 12 years old. The boy then went on to a psychiatric center where he now, as last I heard, resides. And now he's about 16. He was told repetitiously that his mother was a crack whore up until the day he met his mother. And you know what his report to me was? She's a nice lady, Craig. I don't know why they told me she was a crack whore. She's a really nice lady. She told me that I was taken from her at a young age to live with my grandmother because my grandmother was one of Jehovah's Witnesses and my mother wouldn't make her dedication by baptism. Is that something the Catholic Church encourages its members to do? So when you hear all of this, I'm not looking for you to change your beliefs, Hilldiggity. If you want to think that your congregation's laid back and everything's cool, that's great. But you know something? Some of us know the reality of the whole deal here. Okay? Ciao.